bless you all for coming this afternoon. It's such a privilege. It's a great honor to be here this afternoon, looking at you and together we learning and rising up together. I'm so grateful, Gina, for your beautiful presentation on seed. So we definitely have to make sure we stretch, we explore, and we extract. Amen. I would like to thank our sponsors for ensuring that this year as well, Springboard is able to come off, is able to impart the various people that form such a substantial part of the program. I am privileged that MTN is on, UMB you are on, Enterprise Life, we have Data Bank, we have York's Rent a Car, we have Yeb Clinic Solutions, we have the Multimedia Group, and various stakeholders who are all invested in ensuring that today we will not only learn, but would also enjoy ourselves. I'm talking about the digital revolution. And my topic simply looks at the world as we live in now. Because as Gina spoke earlier, our world has changed significantly. No longer how it was, and therefore in this presentation let's tell us a story about where we are right now, and then we'll look at what impact it has made in this we'll just take one field because of a challenge I had last week, and then going on we see how we ourselves can apply it in our lives. Are we okay? Fantastic. So what is a revolution? When they say this is a revolution, what is a revolution? A revolution is simply something that transforms a space suddenly, and it has an impact, a real impact on society. So then society can no longer go back to how it behaves. So for instance, if we say that now to drink water, you have to go to a particular spot to go and drink water. From there, nobody can drink water anywhere he or she likes. Suddenly transform the way of drinking water from having water all over the place to having to take water in a specific place that you have to go there, and without that, nobody else will drink water. So when we talk about the digital revolution, we are looking at what the internet has done for us. That we have a capacity to generate things. We have a capacity to process things at a faster speed than ever before. We have the possibility of efficiently applying the knowledge we have gained, looking at those things from the digital space. So we see a combination of speed, we see a combination of technology, we see a combination of the human, and using all that in one space to have a new look in our world. Therefore, I'd like to invite a friend of mine to give us the story as we see whether robots will or will not take our jobs.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
Hi, I'm Robot Thespian.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
This is a humanoid robot, which means it looks, it talks, and it even acts, well, like a human. So does that mean it could take a human's job like mine?
You better believe it. No, I'm only joking, not really.
There's no denying robots and automation are increasingly part of our daily lives. Just look around the grocery store or the highway, or in the case of Robo Thespian here, even at the theater.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain.
The rise of robots has led to some pretty scary warnings about the future of work.
Robots will be able to do everything better than us.
A recent study found up to 670,000 U.S. jobs lost to robots between 1990 and 2007, and that number is likely to go up. A widely cited study from 2013 found nearly half of all jobs in the U.S. are in danger of being automated over the next 20 years. Occupations that require repetitive and predictable tasks in transportation, logistics, and administrative support were especially high risk. And just think, robots don't need health benefits, vacation, or even sleep for that matter. But the debate over whether robots will take over all of our jobs is by no means settled. Many economists argue automation will ultimately create new jobs. After all, someone has to program the robots, right? Let's go back to the 1850s, when trains were the most popular mode of transportation. This chart shows the number of locomotive engineers, railroad conductors, and brakemen increasing by nearly 600%. But that growth slowed in the early 1900s. Why? You guessed it, the automobile came along. Car mechanic and repairman jobs surged, even though railroad jobs began to disappear. And some companies say the same thing will happen when robots move into the marketplace. A survey of 20,000 employers from 42 countries found that the IT, customer service, and advanced manufacturing industries will add workers over the next 2 years as a result of automation. It's hard to imagine that robots could replicate human characteristics like empathy or compassion that are required in many jobs. I mean, would you really want a robot as your nurse, babysitter, or teacher? But even if robots don't take our jobs entirely, research shows they will significantly change day-to-day tasks in the workplace. This is particularly a problem for lower-skilled workers who aren't able to retrain for new jobs. They might get stuck with lower wages in a world with more robots, and that could make income inequality even worse. These guys are making a lot of things uncertain right now, but one thing that's clear is skills training is required if we hope to get along with friends like them in the workplace.
I think we're going to get along just fine.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
Hi, I'm Robert.
From the steam engine era, where trains that were going from place to place, helping people move things all of a sudden from one end of the world to the other, and it was revolutionary. All of a sudden, we now have the capacity to print things at a faster rate. We could do things faster and better. But that still had a little problem. And then we discovered electricity, so we could no longer sleep. So we were doing work day and night, and that's where we are right now. Change from where now you had to only 8 hours to work, and now we have 24 hours. I was privileged to go to a particular country, China, and truth be told, they do not sleep. You give an order, and you know your order will come through because they tell you that 3 days. 3 days, they have 3 shifts working on your job. And that was what the Industrial Revolution brought about. Based on the discovery of electricity and so on and so forth, now we discovered that, well, it's possible to send ideas, it's possible to send things through some space, which we call the internet. And based on this, so now we went to the we came to the knowledge age. Based on this, you can gather information, and the information doesn't need to sit in a physical space close to you, what we call the cloud, and you can make decisions based on it. And therefore, in our new world where we are, where we've moved from being whether in a steam engine era or the Industrial Revolution era, and now we've come to the digital era, here we are, and now we are looking at being augmented by either robots, machines, as you saw in the video, or even part of our world. Now, my question that I would like to ask is that, does it have any role to play in our lives, maybe here in Ghana or outside the world? For me, I said I was challenged by a question that Dr. Otabil asked last week, Saturday, when he said that when we talk about the revolution, how has it changed our lives here in GH? In terms of the fact that we should be able to move from things in the normal way, and now being able to use it to change our agriculture. Now, if you look at the first picture that you see, the first picture has somebody in the normal way. It have changed such that we don't use We have the opportunity whereby, and I wouldn't call them friends, but I know of some young gentlemen in Ghana who have what they call the trotro taxi. They have an app, and if you have a farm that you need for it to be plowed, you send them a message on the app. That's on my field. How big is it? You send them the information, how big it is, what type of planting you are going to do, and that kind of stuff. And if there's a farmer who has a plow idle, they'll then send the closest farmer to you. So then the farmer doesn't need to finish plowing his field, and then the thing is sitting down forever. Now you can utilize the farming implement around the farming place. So then you don't have to do the farming the usual way that you used to do it. You have the opportunity to use the trotro taxi. I've forgotten the name, this escaped me. But to use this app to improve your farming product. You have people who now have what we call how to irrigate the farm. So then you see, sometimes you see that when we are watering the grass, you know how we waste a lot of water because of how the droplets are big. It has been refined to such a tiny space that the mist that comes on the plants can utilize the water better. So there's greater efficiency in applying that watering system. The same way with even the kind of amount of fertilizer that is used in planting the food. So sometimes, you know that we say that sometimes we are not even sure if the food that we use are good. I mean, it's well done. But here you are, if we use intelligent systems, we can transform our agriculture. There's a system in Ireland that is being explored right now, which can tell a farmer who, if let's say that you know how we have our free-range cows going around, and sometimes if you are driving your car, if you don't take care, you will hit the cow. But the cow can be anywhere, and the cow is about to give birth. Gives information to the farmer saying that I'm about to give birth, and the farmer can go have a precise location of where the cow is and can assist the cow in the delivery. Therefore, my question to us today, here we are in Ghana. These systems do exist. Can we think about how we can change our farming products or our farming methods using the technology that is available, technology that we think we can use here, and by that improve our space? If we look at our present workspace, they are no longer the way that you would have when you go to the job formally. When you say I'm an accountant, you stay as an accountant and you just have one computer and you do 1 + 1 = 2. Gina was talking about the friend of ours who was both an accountant and a marketing person. So then you are no longer one person in the market space. Now you have to know how to do a bit of marketing, a bit of accounting, a bit of procurement, everything, even the way they design things. So you are no longer just stuck in your job that I add 1 + 1 = 2, but now you have to be multi-skilled and multi-talented. So what are the 8 disruptive things that are coming up in the market space? Well, the first thing are the robots, or what we say, the automated ways of doing things. So that if you are going to job to the market space and thinking that, oh, I just need to add 1 + 1, guess what? There's a human, something that is being developed that one day can come and take your job. I was thinking about the fact that nowadays I have a friend who actually brought in a Chinese to come and take up the job of the supervisor in his workspace. He said the guy doesn't have a family. All he knows is that he comes to work. When it closes, he goes back to where he sleeps. So there's no funeral to think about. There's nobody who will come and say my school fees, and he will say, okay, my brothers, sisters, cousins, uncles, something, nothing. So if you think that, oh, machines in Ghana doesn't work, forget it. It may not be a machine, but it may be somebody from either China or India coming to take your job. So you need to be multi-skilled and multitask. The next thing are drones. Our government is using something like drones to take care of our medical wealth. And you'll be like, oh, so what does it imply? Well, some time ago, some human being had to drive it. That person is now out of a job. Have you thought of it? And that is just the first level. So it is in our world, and we need to think about it very hard. Sensors. You know, nowadays, footballers, sometimes when you're watching DSTV, you would see somewhere they write some statistics and say that this particular footballer ran for 28, or let's say about 15 kilometers. And you're like, how did they measure that? Because they have sensors in their boots. So, all those moves is being measured. And the information is taken back to their drawing board. When they go for training, they'll say, okay, so you were running at this speed, and then something happened, and therefore, so they are using the information that they gather to improve what they do. The Internet of Things. I was very happy, I was very amused to find out now even fishes. You can put a sensor on a fish for the fish to tell you that I am hungry or not hungry. Yes. And we want to compete. If we want to compete, then we need to realize the world has changed. And therefore, the way we look at things must also change significantly. Things have changed. Things are not the same. And therefore, we need to change the way we look at things. Virtual reality. I was listening to some podcast the other day where part of the information was they were looking at how they would man space in terms of the fact that now they are going to space, and not only that, they are putting people there. Some person was saying that he was thinking about how he's going to put, like how you extract oil from the Takrady plant. They are thinking of how to extract energy from the rockets and so on that are flying in space, so that they don't need to come back to space anytime they want to refuel, but they can stand there and do it. So if somebody is thinking about transportation in space, and we are sitting here still thinking about what we will eat, what we will wear, and the latest fashion, are we in the same world? Can we see that we need to move into the digital world so that we can compete, at least start to compete? That is my trust for this afternoon. That is my hope that at the end of this, so therefore, moving on from here, if we looked at blockchain, whereby you have, so you have blockchain, you have augmented reality, all these things are helping us in our field. Okay, so what is the impact? The impact is that some jobs will become redundant, and that is clear. The video said it, not that the video is truth, but whenever anything new comes on, some people lose, some people gain. By all means, jobs will be lost. So see that in your trajectory. Is your job going to be repetitive? This is something that you need to change the way you think about your future job. There will be replacement by machines. The machine needs to be at a particular point. Are you prepared? Are you literate? Are you, when I say literate, I understand how the machine works. Because it's only those who understand the machines who will still have jobs. Okay? We are going to outsource functions. So then, even though the thing can be done in GH, they're to be sent somewhere else because it's either cheaper, more efficient, and then maybe even better quality. And therefore, even though we should be able to do it here, it will be outsourced, and so there will be some jobs will be less. But our capacity will become better. So then somebody who used to have, who maybe had an issue with the hand or with the leg, there'll be various things that you can now wear in your hand, and you can do sometimes even better than what you could do without no leg. And then also, we would have the new jobs. So, some 10 jobs are coming up that will go away. Look at it and see if you are there. So we have data entry clerk. So if you want to be a data entry clerk, please. Because we, formerly when we're doing Springboard, we used to you to write your names. Now, how many of you, when you came in, you were told to type in your information? Most of you typed in your information, didn't you, on your phone? By SMS. So anybody who would have been a volunteer, and we used to, sometimes we used to have about 20 people with computers at the back, typing in that information. So all those people technically have lost their jobs because they were data entry. So you have administrative secretaries, just plain secretaries. No, any secretary who would keep the job is the one who is multi-skilled. So I'm saying, talking about repetitive jobs. Any job that is repetitive, it is standard, anything can be taken over, it's gone. It is gone. So the 10 there, which of them, were you going to any of those fields? Okay, fantastic. So let's look at where the opportunities are. Let's look at the opportunities, where the opportunities would be. The people who understand data, people who understand information, people who understand how to extract information, how to manipulate information, how to generate content, how to file content. Those people have jobs and they will continue being relevant. So if you are somebody who does not think that all this computer thing is useful, please rewind your mind. Rewind yourself, because this is 2022. By that time, I don't think I would have retired, but still, your job would be at stake. So, what do I leave you with? I'll say that to continue to be relevant in this field, first, conceptualize. You have a digital platform, you have things that is in the market. Conceptualize. What do I want to do? What do I want to solve? I showed you a great. There's also medicine. There's also all the fields. There's opportunity. And I always say that in Ghana and in Africa, there's space for us. But if we don't take the space, I can assure you, without a shadow of doubt, people will come from elsewhere and take up the space. So this is a call out to us who are in this room, outside in the to know that, look, the space exists. We have to grow our capacity. Oh, boss, you've gone too fast. We have to grow our capacity. We have to know what we need to do, what we need to have to be able to take advantage of that. We need to refine it. So you've developed an app. You've looked at the concept. You've defined, you've refined it. Find out from people, will this work? How will it work? Where will it work? If 10 people are using it, what do I need? If 100 people are using it, what do I need? If 1 million people are using it, what do I need? If 1 billion people are using it, what do I need? When Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook, he was looking at it at just his campus level, UCC level. But then he realized that there was a capacity to grow it. All of a sudden, it's moved from something that was just used on campus to global. I believe in this room, there are people who have the opportunity, the capacity to develop things that can be used globally. But it's only those who realize it and are willing to pay the price who can apply and get it done. So my word to you today is that, number one, we are in the digital world. The digital world has come to meet us. If we don't realize it and we still sit in the comfort of our old spaces, we are in trouble. We need to move into the digital world. We need to know what we can do there, extend our capacity. We need to scale it up so that it doesn't work only in a small space. Because if we use it here only, yes, you make some impact. You would have some impact, but you will not be able to have the billions that Mark Zuckerberg does, because he's not applying it only on his campus, but now he's applying it globally. So we need to look at how we scale it up. And finally, let's tap into divine strategy, because there's nothing that can be done that God does not give us the capacity to do it. Thank you, and God bless you all.